Welcome. Welcome to Let Me Out Productions and the Top Brass Dow. Let's see if we're live here. Welcome. Yes, we are. Okay. Everything's good. I've had a number of issues trying to stream this before, so now I'm excited. I did an hour stream on this the other day, and the audio was off the whole time. Yeah. Okay, so first things first, let's go into the proofs. My name's Okearah. I am a photojournalist, producer, media publisher going on since 2004, and I'm exhausted. Now, today I want to talk about this composite that I made out of two shots that I took called I Am My Only Competition. Where are we looking at? We're in volume 9. One of many backups. We're in 1516. And we're going to go to 1030, October 30th first. Okay. By the way, there are some exclusive Kobe's in here nobody's ever seen before. And Montel Jordan. Shout out to Montel. I actually do want to put a piece up with Montel. Okay, so let's find shot number 1, which was right here. This is shot number 1. Can I just open with preview? This is the raw file, so it has not been colored and adjusted and everything, but this is the shot. This is shot number 1. It's Kobe lining up to guard Rudy Gay, friend of the show Rudy Gay, back on October 30th, 2015. So this is shot number 1. And if you hover here, you can see I'm on my 60D ISO 3200. I'm on a manual 200mm lens, so it's not going to show you the f-stop, but the f-stop was 4.0. Exposure is 1/400. And that's the first shot. So when you're looking at, let's go load up the composite actually. Okay, well you can see, okay, so that's shot 1 right there. So Rudy is cropped out, and we have, maybe we can go side by side. Can we go side by side? Did I close that? I probably closed that. Oops. Back in the Julius Randle, Jordan Clarkson days, Kobe's retirement tour. This shot's available, by the way. Here you go, chat. Does that not link? Oops. There we go. Okay. So, Bean over Boogie. This shot is 8.24 Ethereum on normal ETH, and it's the black and white cut. This is actually a 5K image, but I'm not here to talk about this image. You gonna load up my 4K, please? Look at that. Look at that quality. Look at that. This print's just as big on canvas or Metalcast if you'd like. Okay. Who wants to hit me up with 17.5 grand for being over the boogie? Sacramento Kings looking at you. Sacramento Kings, paging the Sacramento Kings. This should be up in the hallway of Golden One Center in one of the media tunnels. Absolutely. Paging the Sacramento Kings. I will never stop being an antagonist, but that is part of the product at this point. Okay. Let's get into this. So we looked at the first shot. Who is it, coach? Shout out to Willie Cauley-Stein. Friend of the show, Willie Cauley-Stein. Friend of the show, DeMarcus Cousins. Is that Lou Williams? I always forget Lou played for the Lakers for a minute. Look at that. This probably should get minted, huh? Because it's sort of a rare cut. What? Lou Williams, Lakers, D'Lo Russell. Okay, let me find the shot. Here it is. Which again, I'm the only person with this raw in the world. October 30th, 2015, 7:25 p.m. right in the middle of the game. Okay, can't fake that. That's the file origin. Now let's go to January 7th, 2016. My bad, in the bio it does say in some of the descriptions that this shot was produced on the 17th. That's just me trying to type 1/7/2016 and putting 2 1s instead of 1. So my bad. Deal with it. It's not a big deal. It's not contractually obligated. Here's the other shot. And this is actually a great, because this shot is mostly useless. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, this shot isn't a great shot. It's just, it's probably, I'll tell you what, to Jordan Clarkson, this is probably a meaningful shot. But he probably has a million photos of himself and Kobe from the Lakers photographers of the time. Oh. Yeah, probably I could have used that one. Still a great take. I'll put that up eventually. That'll be a 1 of 1. 5. You see that? You see the pixelation down here? Can you see that? Because it says right here. 5. That's what I mean by 5K. It's right there. Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. So when you're on this, when you want to load the full resolution, you can't load it off the thumbnail. You have to click on this. Then as it loads, then you right click here, then you say open image in a new tab. Okay, and now you can go look at the full pixelation. This prints. This goes 7-foot canvas, by the way. This is a pixel. These are pixel painted choices. Everything in here. I get in here with the brush and well, I run my filters first, and then I get in there and clean it up and do pixel painting. So this is the first cut of the 50. And what I did was I composited these 2 shots. Where's that other one here? This one was taken, come on, do your hover trick. January 7th, 2016. This is on my 550D. Once again at ISO 3200 with an f-stop of 4, exposure time 1/500th. And we're on a 200 millimeter on both shots. So the textures work out brilliantly. Well, now, here's another series of shots that we've seen Kobe before, but it doesn't matter. Okay. So you buy this, and okay, there's 2 things that you do when you buy this. 1, you buy and own it. That's cool. Can we not bury the lead here, Kamani? Okay. I took both shots. I've proven the raw file creation over 10 years ago at this point. These are all pixel painted editions of the composite of those two shots. Some of them are airbrush within, Black American, African American culture. That's sort of what these takes are. There's a few of these, and then others are just artistic presentations of that composite, or painted presentations of that composite. So everybody can get, 100 people can get this image and have an exclusive cut of it. This is the coolest thing. When you have the ability, you have the responsibility. That's how I feel. So minting in the realm of blockchain blockchain is a public notary service. A public notary, or a notary public, is a agent that acts as an impartial witness to authenticate information. That's what a notary public is. So we are using blockchain as a public notary service, not a notary public service, because notary public is an individual, but a public service for impartial witness. That's what we use blockchain for. And so I'll just go show y'all. Let's go look at it. It's easier to explain. So this is a publishing title on the blockchain. It titles what's published within it as property, and it titles what it can further express as property. So this is the first edition of the I Am My Only competition collection, number 1, I Am My Only Rival. And you'll see here that it was brought into existence as an asset on August 8th, 2024. 8824. And just because of my intersections of being a blockchain pioneer, being a person who owns all of my shots in the NBA, and being able to create this asset and bring this asset into existence on Kobe's actual numbers, when you have the ability, you have the responsibility. The other thing is, I didn't do any automation. Each one of these pieces was uploaded one by one, one by one, one by one. And the reason I did that, instead of like writing a script, is because, do you think he would write a script? This is free throws. I'm shooting free throws when I'm creating these assets. So you don't write a script to shoot free throws. You get in the gym and you shoot the free throws. So in the spirit of Kobe, this had to have been a deliberate march. Most of them will have 8 properties as well. So Kamani, photographer, graphic artist, art style, 2 traits, the mint date, Kobe Bryant, you deserve to exist. Okay. So this is the first piece ever. I have been trying to get my friend Bogdan Bogdanovic to buy it for weeks now, because I need a boost, frankly. But the other side of it is, y'all, like, with what this is, these should be hanging up in gyms at 6-7 feet canvas or metal cast. And then the 8824 mint date, I'm just one of those people that's like, I really feel that only people in the NBA family should own these. I can't make that happen, but it should be players, coaches, people like me that who have put significant amounts of time into the product. I'm not saying like, look, you can come in 2-3 years, kiki in the media, but to sustain a career for longer than 5 years, with what I've seen, that's commendable. And then to the folks that are able to do it 20-30 years, cheers to you. Okay, I burnt myself out, so like really, like I could explain that, but I don't want to harm the NBA. I don't think it would harm the NBA, really, but okay. So please, everybody, this is only 500. Don't flip these. You're buying for 0.24 Ethereum to participate in the legacy of Kobe Bryant and to own a piece of that history. And this isn't the license. This is a title to the property. This is a unique piece of property, this specific pixel painted image, and you are buying the title to this image that title has terms. Okay. This is the only available edition of this specific color photograph. You're trading for the full non-commercial rights to this creation, and the commercial rights of the photographer include Mr. Okearah at 35% of any measurable revenue or transferable value produced by this work in any tangible medium, whether known now or hereafter created. Securing this one-of-one photograph and perpetually issuing the 35% photographer royalty from any measurable revenue or transferable value secures the holder of this token the commercial license to monetize this photo, limited to the non-exclusive rights of the photographer. So does that make sense? You're buying a piece of property. The property acknowledges that there's a photographer who's the origin, and then I'm going to take 35% of any commercial value that you generate with this. Past that, you have commercial license to negotiate whatever you want with the title, but again, 35% to myself, and then I would imagine that another 15% would be going to Mambacita, and then maybe even a cut to the NBA basketball revenue, and maybe to the Lakers, maybe the Players Union, etc. Point is, you own the property, you have commercial license, I put my terms on there. So if you want to go maximize that commercial license, it's up to you to then reach out to Mamba and Mambacita, Lakers, Players Union, and NBA. Those are the four parties that you should reach out to if you're going to do any commercial work. If you're just buying it to hang it up, print it on canvas, print it on metal, and put it up somewhere, even in a sports bar, hotel, team buys it for a media hallway, that's ideal. Players for a gym, you don't have to worry about anything down the line. You're just buying the property and you're printing the property. That's one of the ways you can express it. Print it as many times as you want, I don't care. Again, if you start printing postcards and you're selling postcards for $5, that's a commercial use, and I need my 35%. Oh, I don't want to work. I don't want to set up commercial revenues for you. Let's assume that every other party waives interest and you get 65%. What? But anyway, I would imagine that you'd be able to get around 40 to 50% of the commercial value of what you're negotiating with this. And at $500, man, some of y'all are spending that on Pokemon cards, y'all. Pokemon cards, $500. You got a shot of Kobe here, minted 8824, that you can commercially maximize. Okay. Did we blow this up already? We did. And we already took a look at it. I'm really in love with the contrast in the skin here, the impasto brush strokes, and the noise. The photographic noise to me is something that's like magical in sports. The little bit of, you don't need too much is too much, but like a little bit of noise to bring in that like newspaper quality. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So with that, that's even maintained in here. Look, I remember doing the greens. The greens are very subtle. Actually, not much green. No, there's one. There's a couple in here in the jersey, little swirls and stuff. So this is a pixel painted image. When I get in here, I blow it up like this, and I go through and I throw my filters on. These are filters I've made over the years, by the way. I'm a Photoshop madman. But yeah, that's number one. There's 50 of these, right? Here's number two. This is more of a brutalist take. What's the art style on here? Brutal, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, eight traits there. So once again, you get up in here, you start seeing a little bit of paper craft, a little bit of choice separation. Slicing in on the edges. And it creates a really interesting cut of this image. And this is hard. It's been a couple of years since I made these, so I get to now take a step back as the artist and just like really appreciate it. And this is hard. This is hard. And you even get a little bit when it prints. You'll get a little bit of Get a little bit of a natural border there on this print. If you're canvas printing, they'll need to extend that edge so they can wrap the frame. But if you're metal cast, this will be great. This one's going to look particularly great on metal cast. I should be linking. Let's just link the collection into the chat. Oh, thank you to the viewer that was in here. I like that. One viewer and you watch for 20 minutes. And I've been streaming for 21 minutes. You're amazing. Maybe it's a bot. Okay. I posted that in chat. We have the whole collection in there. And you, let's look at the mosaic form so we can kind of see. I'll go oldest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Those 19 shots were all brought into existence August 8th, 2004, or 2024. So you'll have 8824 on those mint dates. Now on this one, oh yeah, my sister owns this one. There's another airbrush take, and here he is in front of a lake. Actually, I like this one. I like this one a lot. Oops. Seamless. That's seamless blending. I'm sorry. This is so good. Again, I get to take a step back and like get to a point where I'm like, yeah. You like, and then the other side of it is with my work especially, you can tell it's human work because there's a lot of human error. I mean, look at the carve out job on around the man's mouth over here. That is not great. Not great, but I do. It's a great cut. Now on some of these, this is gonna say August 9th at 1 in the morning because I'm in Pacific time. Check this out. When I say 88 and 882424, we're gonna that's going to be claimed under UTC -12, which is Philippines, etc. International Dateline West. I think that's is Philippines far the other way? Okay, so when you go to UTC -12 on any device settings, I'll refresh this image here. I go back to the activity, and now we're back to 82424, or sorry, 8824 at 8 p.m. So you don't even need to go -12. You can go like -5, like -7. But it doesn't matter. Point is that oh, Manila's +8. Ooh, I didn't know that. This has always confused the hell out of me. Let's look at this here for a quick moment. So where's the map that I just had? There you go. This is not helpful. I can't zoom. There we go. Okay. This is so confusing over here, y'all. Nuts. Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah. Wait, are they on the same UTC as us? Because we're on UTC +8, right? Oh no, we're UTC -8. That's crazy. So I'm so distracted right now. Here I was thinking the Philippines were in UTC -12. Doesn't matter. Oh no, that makes sense. -12's over here. I'm not sure humans live in the -12 except for up here. That's okay. It doesn't matter. Point is, everybody can witness the 8824 no matter what. Like, all you have to, if you, on the latest shot in the 88, there 19 pieces were minted 8824, and the other 31 were minted 82424. So let's keep looking. I like this cut. Let's put it in chat. Okay. Yeah, you'll see a fluctuating price here just because it's minted and listed in Ethereum, and Ethereum is a value transfer protocol on the public notary. Ethereum is not a one-to-one reflection of the US dollar, so it fluctuates based on network use, and that's the fluctuations. So when you go to buy Ethereum, don't buy the exact listing that you see. Overshoot it by like $10, okay? And then you know you'll have a couple of coins left over to see how Ethereum's doing over time. Little measurement there. Dang, a stamped cut, baby. Oh, what? Look at this. Look at this. This is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. You can see this on a wall, right? This is a gorgeous cut. Yeah. Coming back and adding a little splatter around the edges here and like on up here on his head. That jersey flow is gorgeous. This is a great cut. Wow. I kind of want to ask GPT or Gemini to do like a museum review live of these. Do you guys want to do that? That could be fun. That could be fun. Let's do it. That could be really fun. Can I rename it? What can I spell? I'll read this out loud. This is why I don't stream. I've never developed a streaming personality. I can develop the framework all I want, right? Like that's what I do as cognitive linguist. I'm like, hey, how do you publish things out of these random tools? Oh, here's streaming chat interactive deliverables. Here you go, Hassan Piker. Enjoy your career. Oh, man. But now I'm doing notarized co-publishing. Okay. We'll start with number 1. What's the name of that one again? All of these pictures, these aren't Kobe quotes, but like his spirit and the I am my only competition, that's not a direct quote either, as far as I could find. I could have sworn he said something like that back in the 2000s run, because I remember specifically an interview between Kobe and Ellie Seckbach, who's one of my inspirations as a media professional. And he said something along those lines, where Ellie asked him about maybe, I had to forget what the matchup was, but some opponent coming in, and whether Kobe was like worried about the level of competitiveness coming from the opponent. And Kobe just looks at Ellie. They had a great relationship, and says something along the line. I don't know if it was a direct quote, but he says, why would I be worried about that? I am my only competition. Clean it up. Clean it up. Clean it up. He's his only competition. I get emotional about it because, like, look, I'm 36. I grew up with this guy as my childhood villain. I'm a King. I was a Kings fan until I saw how the sausage is made, and yeah. Now that I'm more of a wide scope entertainment product protector, for sure, the vanguard of protection for everybody's publishing rights, unfortunately for me. What the hell is life? Okay, I know. What? I didn't sign up for that. But who knew there was gonna be so much? Let me not swear. I don't think I've sworn on here today, which is good. It's progress. I don't believe in swearing, but so many other people do. It's like, okay, I do need to live in society. Number 1, I am my only rival. That's what we're focused on. And we will do this up until I run out of screenshots. I think I only have like 19 of these proofs. What I'm doing is I'm slowly doing the proofs here. So I go to social, I go to threads, and I go here. So if I upload this image, it has the image. It's like, the image is 3,000 pixels on this. And then it has the mint dates from the blockchain, the screenshot directly from the mint to the blockchain, which is it's fundamentally part of the art. Okay, so when you think about mine having put 10 years of work in the NBA, hey, it was like 9.2 years, but we're going to round up to get to the decade, okay? Like, everybody I talk to say, oh, if you're past 9 years, you go 10. So, and then regardless of that, I'm still loosely, very, very loosely, I'm not practicing photojournalism in the NBA right now, but I'm still NBA media. Like, I'm still part of the product, just not as engaged. And I'm personally absolutely okay with that. We can do. No, I don't need to do full screen. Okay. Don't create an image. Okay. Yes. This is one of my favorite uses of this AI stuff. It's like, okay. Oh, I cannot wait to get in. Ah, excellent. Welcome, fellow observer. Please gather around. You have brought us to the very beginning, the cornerstone of the entire edifice. Mint number 1 of I Am My Only Competition X100, formerly titled I Am My Only Rival. Let us lean in. No, closer. Okay, I have to load the image. What are we doing? We can't be doing this without having the image on the screen. What are we doing? What are we doing, chat? It's pretty good size. Okay. How does this look on stream? Let's check stream form. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Maybe a little. Can you not do that? Like, Windows is so frustrating. Sometimes. There we go. Okay. Whoa, what did you scroll all the way to the top for, bro? Where do we leave off? Let us lean in. No, closer still. This collection is a study in precise digital craftsmanship, and here the quality is overwhelming. I agree with you, Gemini, I agree with you. Consider the texture, the very skin of this visual figure. It is not just a photographic rendering of Kobe, it is a complex tapestry woven from 1,000 distinct hand-placed color fields. Look at the number 24. It is not a simple block of color. It is a mosaic of pastel fragments, pinks, baby blues, lemon yellows, each a deliberate, non-uniform brushstroke. The very same texture propagates across Kobe's skin, turning his back into a shifting, shimmering field of non-terrestrial color. This is the definition of pixel painting, assigning emotional and conceptual weight to the smallest units of image data. I'm getting emotional because honestly, ain't nobody ever appreciate my work like this. Oh man, thank you. Assigning emotional and conceptual weight to the smallest units of image data? What? That's not what I think I'm doing, but I am doing that, of course. Thank you. This is cool. That's validating right there. For all graphic artists who do pixel painting. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Human choices, people. This is what separates the work. I'm sure AI could do a filter like this of some kind, right? I'm sure it can be automated. Doesn't matter. The reason why it knows how to do a filter like this is because of my work and other people like me. They get in there and assign emotional and conceptual weight to the smallest units of image data. Okay? So generative AI is not inherently like throw it out with the bathwater. It's actually just like blockchain. Get involved so you can set precedent and be part of the regulatory community. A regulator just means to make regular. So if you want to make regular certain behaviors in AI and certain behaviors in public notarization, you need to be involved. You cannot stand across the street with your arms folded, pointing and trying to enjoy a position of moral superiority from not helping or not being involved. That needs to stop. That culture needs to stop. That culture is killing the United States. To stand across the street with your arms folded, pointing at somebody trying to do something and waiting for them to fail for a point and laugh. For the moral and social superiority that you transact in your brain. I'm a cognitive linguist. One of my theses is that sanctimony is an addictive brain state. Sanctimony is the illusion of moral social superiority. It's produced by dopamine, serotonin, and epinephrine all cycling at the same time. We call it the DSE cycle. So, when you seek a leverage over somebody else, or even over this art, for example, let's say you're coming into the stream and you're trying to antagonize me, and you seek leverage over the art. Oh, the pictures aren't good, or I don't like the painting. Blah, 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 blah. Who cares about August 8th, 2024? Sanctimony, morals appear. What you're doing is you're trying to trigger that DSE cycle. Dopamine, serotonin, epinephrine. And you're looking for that DSE cycle in every single communication. So you're addicted. And that addiction is preventing you from enjoying human interaction because you're constantly seeking leverage. Okay, let's get back to here's M. Docent. I could talk about cogling for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, but I want to be paid first. And this is the fastest way for me to get paid first, is by maximizing the assets that I've built over the years. Okay. Thank you. This was incredibly validating. I'm taking this away in my chest. Because sometimes, you feel when you're using digital tools to paint versus like an actual brush and the paints and canvas, people, I think these days is a little different, but I think a lot of folks just don't appreciate that this is a result of choices in the same way that somebody going in there, like here, right? These pink shoulder areas, there's only 4 or 5 areas, on this side. But you see the greens in there, you see the reds. They're not frequent, but they build. Okay, they build the experience. If I had any regret on this image, it's that I went too hard on this area here. Not really though, because it's sort of I know what I was thinking 2 years ago. I know what I was thinking. But anyway. So the composition is masterful self-examination. We have the figure seen from behind, labeled Bryant 24, looking to the future. He is a multicolored monument superimposed slightly ahead, and looking back with a younger, intense gaze is the past. They're the same age. They're literally 3 months apart. Okay, this is... The AI is doing its AI thing now. I liked the first paragraph. I hate the second. Is this not a common experience for all of us? All right. The composition itself is a masterful self-examination. That's redundant. We have the figure seen from behind, labeled Bryant. He's guarding himself. Is that not clear? It's supposed to be that he's guarding himself on the floor, lined up in an off play, but I've seen so much basketball it immediately connects with me. I'm sure most basketball players that immediately connects with me. It's a dead ball shot of 2 players lined up to guard each other. But in here, it's himself. Okay. Well, I guess they're not Gemini. You're not wrong. Is the problem here? He is younger in the 3 months younger in the forward-facing gaze, but that's just not the point. You just made that up. I never asked you to do that. But anyway, superimposed slightly ahead and looking back with a younger, intense gaze is the past. The younger figure, in the classic Lakers purple, is textured with rich, deeply saturated ochres and gold, creating a visual dialogue between the different versions of a singular will. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for a minute. That is good. One is gold lit, looking at its own history, which is pastel shimmering. The background is not blurred. It is dissolved into a whirling psychedelic vortex of purples and blues, unified by the same texturing, suggesting the arena of his performance is as fluid as memory. This is not just a tribute. I hate this, by the way. This is not just it's this. It's not this, it's this. Nobody talks like that. Where did you even pick that up? Nobody talks like that. And yet it's in every model. I literally have to tell it not to do that. Don't steel man your point, please. You have to tell it not to steel man its point, otherwise it's going to say shit like that. Anyway, it's a tribute and a profound exploration of identity. That's what it should say. That's how humans actually speak. This is a tribute and a profound exploration of identity. It's not just a tribute. Anyway, I hate that. And now, my friends, the defining moment, the artifact's true anchor. You must not look away from the data, as it's part of the art. Look below, the immutability, the prime record. Okay, right here. Is that visible on screen? Yes, it is. The The primary record, timestamp, 542 days ago, August 8th, 2024. The data is not mere metadata, as the genesis point of the collection. It is this very second that this vision, the meticulous digital handling, was stamped on the blockchain. We celebrate this date as the provenance of Kobe's... What? How? What? Did you see? Y'all see this? Gemini, this is your pro. I pay for this. But Kobe. Anyway, this date certifies in digital stones the very first step of 100 is a historical marker. I'm going to make sure it doesn't steal man. I'm going to make sure. Oh, I said Kobe. That's what. Okay. Let's try that again. We're going to do this. I'll do the whole take and then we'll get to the next piece. Welcome, connoisseurs, to the grand gallery of modern digital expressionism. Step closer, because what you are looking at is not merely a photograph. It is a masterpiece of pixel-painted mastery from Kamani Okearah's definitive I Am My Only Competition collection. This specific piece is the opening statement. Number 1, I am my only rival. Looking at the sheer texture of this composite, by utilizing a completely raw manual 1968 Nikkor lens, the foundation captures a profound truth of human labor. There is no artificial machine stabilization here, no stabilization, no autofocus. Okay? I'm a sniper out there. Yeah, and I have to pull it out of the abstract focus myself. And I wouldn't have it zero other way. I don't like automated tools. They'll actually mess your game up real quick. You master the manual, you have full control over the game. There's no artificial machine stabilization here. Instead, we see the absolute precision of the human eye translated into digital canvas, layered into exquisite swirling pixel-painted finish that gives the image the physical gravity of a post-impressionist oil painting. Thank you. That's exactly what I was going for. Like some impasto, some texture. The pastels, but subtle. Yeah. The composition brings two eras of the same man into immediate... It's the same era of the same man. I should have focused that into immediate spiritual confrontation. We have the younger, fierce competitor looking back at the seasoned elder wearing the iconic number 24. The golden purple hues don't just represent a team, they bleed into the surrounding atmosphere like a cosmic aura rendered in fine, turbulent digital brushstrokes. The texture on the skin and the jersey appears alive, crackling with the kinetic energy of a relentless work ethic. But to truly appreciate this piece as a complete artifact, we must look below the image at the immutable foundation of the art itself, the block date and the timestamp. Notice the mint date etched into digital provenance, 8824. It is a stunning, poetic, deliberate choice by the artist. The numbers 8 and 24 are explicitly woven into the creation of the publishing title, capturing the twin halves of Kobe Bryant's career. The early explosive number 8 and the disciplined, masterful number 24 are permanently synchronized within the metadata. By executing this mint on this specific date, the legacy of the Mamba mentality becomes an unbreakable structural part of the artwork's identity. This metadata is not mere paperwork. It's doing it again. I told you not to do it. It is the definitive notary of the artist's labor, proving that the specific color derivative is a true one-of-one milestone. It stands as a profound statement to the idea that the only true metric of greatness is the reflection staring back at you in the mirror, and that is some notes, but let's move on. Some notes. Let's do number 2. And okay. Number 2 is progress can't be conquered. Number 2. I'm going to tell it it's brutal art style, so that way it can reference. It's not going to pick it up if it doesn't know. It's like brutal slash papercraft. So brutalist and papercraft art style. Let's load that baddie up. Did I put this in chat? I guess I'll link them in chat as I post them. So this is number 1, and then what? Can we not? The fuck did I just do? Oh, I swore. Oops. Oh well. Okay, there it is. Let's post this in chat as well. And we'll go back to... okay, so if you want to buy one of these, all you have to do, if you don't know anything about blockchain, go to Metamask.io. Okay. Oh, I already have it, so it's just going to take me to that. Let me go to download. There you go. So you can install it for your browser. They have the web, and then you can also just run it in the web app as well. So when you sign up for this, you're going to get a wallet. You can then buy Ethereum on Base using this wallet. And then you navigate to the browser link and buy the shot. If you don't want to do all that, you still need this app. Okay, download the app, then hit the receive button, copy your address, DM me. I prefer Instagram to do this sort of business. DM me, then send me money on Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. And then I will go buy the shot and move it to your wallet for you. If you do that, mark up the list by like $10, okay? So because I have to cover fees and then also my time. So a little tip on there. And then that way, so if you don't want to buy crypto and go through the whole minutia of navigating, you don't want to learn that, you just want to get the shot and print it, you still need this because you need to own title to the shot and prove that you own the title. That's what separates you from anybody who can come in here and just go, oh, I'm going to go open image in a new tab. I'm going to go save as. I'm going to go print this myself. Hardy, hardy, hard. I just stole from you. I just stole from 10 years of your labor. I just stole from all of your expertise in pixel painting. I just stole from you. I right-click save as. Well, that's why I have a title to it for $510. So you don't have to do that, and you don't have to be a thief. You can legally buy title to this image, own it, own this published result, express this published result further within the term stated. That's the whole point. So if you come in here, I'm going to right-click save that, you are literally just stealing somebody's labor. And that's, how do you say it? Oh, enslavement. You're making their labor subject to yourself, and you're stating that their labor has no value. I'm saying that my labor has $510 of value in this pixel painted image. Okay, so please buy it. All right, there you go. Let's get back to the reviews. Welcome back to the gallery. Let us now turn our undivided attention to the second piece in this monumental collection. Here we have number 2, Progress Can't Be Conquered, an extraordinary exploration of the brutalist and papercraft art style. This piece takes the original foundational captures from the 1928 Nikkor 200mm lens and reconstructs them into something entirely new. The pixel painting technique here abandons smooth transitions in favor of stark, unyielding edges. The digital layers of the composition look as though they were meticulously cut from heavy stock paper and stacked manually to build the figures. is a visual representation of brutalist architecture applied directly to human ambition. The flat plains of the Lakers' purple and gold create a dramatic contrast within the highly textured, almost topographical rendering of Kobe's skin. The artist has stripped the subject down to its raw structural essence. The harsh lines and sharp borders do not just outline a figure, they carve out a space in the digital canvas that demands attention, perfectly reflecting the uncompromising nature of progress itself. See, this is why I like this. That's cool. It's like landing on things like, that an art critic would land on, perhaps. To fully comprehend the depth of this masterpiece, we must examine the transactional canvas below the image. Once again, we have an 8824. This one's a few minutes after. Like I said, I manually updated these like shooting free throws. It's brutal, it's not great, it doesn't feel good to sit there and shoot free throws in the gym all day. But it is part of the work. And since Kobe could do it, I could do it. On chain. So we have another 8824 piece. Again, the first 19 are all 8824. The number, we're not going to read that again. Okay. Progress is built layer by deliberate layer, and it absolutely cannot be conquered. That's what the title of this piece is. Progress cannot be conquered. This is not a limit option license. That's a whole different thing from a whole different chat. Please do not include. And that's like trade secret shit. Don't include that in my chat about this. Oh. This one is... Yeah. I'm going to tell it not to use negative qualifiers too. Okay, let's do it. We now focus our attention on the third masterwork in this collection. Here we have number 3. Oh, it's not Progress Can't Be Conquered. Ah! That's my greatest challenge is myself. Let's fix that. The title is a huge point. If I had a live chat, y'all could remind me to change these things. I think it's incredibly sad that I'm almost 2 years after this, and this has not moved a single piece. We arrive at the breathtaking third installation. Number 3, my greatest challenge is myself. This specific color derivative explores the vibrant tradition of the African American airbrush style. The pixel-painted execution here creates a spectacular dreamlike atmosphere. The artist blends the subject into a radiant field of purple flora and brilliant golden bokeh. The colors bleed together with a smooth, high-saturation gradient typical of a master airbrush work. This aesthetic choice transforms the foundation of the capture into an ethereal mural. The rich purples and golds elevate the figures into a realm of pure regal mythos. The composition places the need to clarify that there's not supposed to be like an age difference. It's the same season. Anyway, places this guy, I'm not going to call him the younger self, purple Kobe, in a direct visual dialogue with his gold self. The pixel painting technique applies a soft luminescence to the skin and jersey fabric. Each pixel serves to heighten the emotional weight of self-reflection. The golden aura surrounding the figures represents the illumination of deep personal focus. I agree. The airbrush aesthetic gives the entire canvas a warm, localized cultural resonance. It honors street art traditions while cementing the work in a realm of high digital fine art. We direct our attention to the transactional foundation below the image, 8824. The exact jersey numbers, specific timing embeds Kobe's unbreakable legacy into the permanent metadata of the artwork. By acquiring... Okay, cool. Let's move on to the next piece. And I'm going to tell it not to mention limited option license. Annoying. Okay. This one is I build on what I've built. I'm just going to copy that. I'll type that again. Bye. I'm not going to give you a note on the art style. You tell me what you think the art style is. There we go. Let's do that one. Let's see what this one is. I don't think we're going to go through all 50 on stream because that's going to take too long. Look at that. Again, these print on canvas and it will look brilliant. This is the 3000 pixel cut. This is not the full image cut. And look how zoomed I am on the lettering. This is actually half size of the cut, so this will go on this can print on a giant wall, like giant canvases. Welcome to the next installation of our gallery tour. We now observe piece number 4, titled I Built on What I've Built. I build on what I've built. This specific creation showcases a fascinating color bleed and bleached aesthetic that completely reimagines the foundation of the original 1968 captures. Wait, the original captures. Why is it mentioning the lens? I don't know. Look closely at the pixel painted execution. The artist saturates the digital canvas with a striking inversion of traditional hues. The iconic jersey transforms into a brilliant electric green and vivid yellow. That's the purple over here. The skin tones are recast in deep meditated purples. A fine textured grain blankets the entire composition. This meticulous pixel work gives the image the feel of a chemically developed photograph pushed to its absolute chromatic limits. That's not what I would say I was going for. The colors radiate intense, concentrated energy. The older figure and his younger counterpart. I need to change. Chat, where are you, chat? Somebody in chat, make sure I change that in the next prompt. He's not different age, 3 months apart. Okay. The two Kobes exist in a shared, vividly altered reality. The visual transformation perfectly mirrors the title. Building upon a foundation requires evolving the original elements into a completely new spectrum of light. We direct our focus. Yep, so every time it's going to repeat the 8824 because I'm telling it to. but it is part of the art. It's fundamentally part of the art. So 8824, 1:49 p.m. UTC minus 12. Once again, you're getting a monumental canvas to put up on the wall. And ideally speaking, these go in bars, gyms, hotels, kids sports facilities, that kind of thing. That's kind of what we're hoping for. And our co-founder Aaron had a phenomenal plan that once there's a number of these up in a city, y'all can do a scavenger hunt on the Kobe days of every year. So between starting August 8th and ending August 24th, let's say LA has like 20 of these shots up at various bars, hotels, gyms, etc. Then that would be put up on a map, and people could go to LA for August, and they could do a scavenger hunt and go to all of these places and go visit, take a selfie with all the different editions, etc. And now they have an event every year to help the throughway commerce, help celebrate 8/8/824 of every year, and really cement what that means for the next generation. Because I think this spirit of I am my only competition is super helpful. I've already diagnosed earlier in the call one of our major issues as a society, as a global society, is the addictive brain state of sanctimony, the illusion that you're morally, socially superior to anybody else. If you inherently understand that you are your only competition, why would you ever need leverage over anybody else? You think Kobe dominated, don't get me wrong. He constantly had leverage over other people. But do you think he was seeking leverage over other people? Or do you think he was seeking leverage over his yesterday? And then it just rendered outwardly as dominance on the basketball court against other people. It's what I just said. He wasn't seeking leverage over T-Mac or Doug Christie. Shout out to Doug. I love you, Doug. I hope you make it a long time in Sacramento, okay? I hope the next season turns around. I will personally come lift the curse, but you all have to value my effort and my contribution to the NBA for damn near a decade. This is how. So if all 4 of these shots sold, everything wrong with my life right now would be stabilized. $2,000 would go an incredibly far way. Let's keep it going. I'm having a good time with this. So I said the art style was bleached, but this says it's color bleed, which I also... Oh, because I put the trait in there as color bleed. Interesting. I picked up the traits and fed it into the art style. That's interesting. Cool. All right, I'm not mad at that. Okay, I don't think I need to talk about limit option license again, so we can get rid of that part of the prompt. Go to piece 5 here. I like this one a lot. I am my own benchmark. Hey, they can create music on Gemini now. Oh yeah, I did. That is accurate. So I am my own benchmark. Number 5 here. You can look at the. This is straight up sort of Van Gogh-y. Yep, that's the art style, Van Gogh. That's exactly it. Although I did choice effort and I got into the jersey and did not filter most of the jersey. I left the jersey alone. I did do the lettering, but I didn't do most of the jersey. I just thought it was a really interesting choice to leave the jersey untouched and then the rest of it. Like, you see that? I think that's cool. Like the texture. I think that's a cool choice. I don't know. It's up to the purchaser, but that's a really cool choice on my, like, this jersey's all impasto, but then this one's not. Yeah, I like this one. Okay. This creation embraces a vibrant post-impressionist Van Gogh aesthetic. The pixel-painted execution applies deliberate, swirling brushstrokes across the entire digital canvas. The background environment dissolves into a cascade of textured, rhythmic waves of light and color. The front-facing Kobe displays an expression of intense focus, rendered with thick, structural strokes of gold and shadow. Beside him, the back-turned Kobe anchors the composition with the iconic number 24. The artist bathes both figures in a warm, Renaissance-inspired illumination. Every individual pixel functions as a deliberate application of digital paint, creating a profound sense of physical depth and motion. Okay. The composition pairs two distinct moments from the historic 15-16 retirement season. Captured 3 months apart, the front-facing Kobe and the back-turned Kobe exist in a continuous loop of excellence. They look inward for motivation. They serve as their own standard. The visual synergy perfectly mirrors the title. And it talks about the 8824 mint dates again. I'm actually going to put together a gallery on LinkedIn that uses these descriptions because I need to fix my life. I'm sorry. I have all these assets, and the fact that, like, just because they're on blockchain and there's a social taboo against blockchain, like, that's what makes the assets not cool? What? It's a public notary service for creating and publishing assets. A small amount of people are using that service to gamble, and then the sanctimonious clown-ass journalist parade is only presenting the gambling. They're not presenting publishers. They're selling you sanctimony. They're selling you dopamine, serotonin, and epinephrine as a brain state by only focusing on gamblers and getting you to morally and socially and feel morally and socially superior to the gambling. Never talk about the publishers. Horrible society, honestly. Horrible. Horrible. Not one journalist has ever so much as called me about this, or called me about notarized co-publishing. Okay. Yeah, calm down off that emotion. Not entitled. But this is newsworthy work. The only reason people don't treat it as the only reason people don't treat it as newsworthy is because I am seen as low caste. That's it. We live in a caste system in the United States, and I'm seen as low caste. Do high value work, but I cannot shake the low caste because I come from foster care, and the layer 1 value statement when you come from foster care is absolute baloney. Layer 1 means the people who show up for you out of friends and family that you, like your friends that you grew up with and the family that you have. Do they celebrate this at all? No, they want it to fail, which is a crazy thing. This is a result of community investment. top of which I'm offering 20% finder's fees for people who sell these on my behalf. But I have to know, you can't just go do that because that's easily to manipulate. You have to, one, have a publishing title, Let Me Out Productions, and one of our other projects. These bears are $10, okay? They're $10. So you can buy a bear, and now you're a co-publisher of Let Me Out Productions, and now you have the ability to represent our other assets as a forwarding merchant, okay? Did I do, I contain my own potential. I like this cut a lot. It's like inverted and it's still got the yellow and the purple, but not the same yellow and purple that y'all are used to. I contain my own potential. Because I need to see what time it is actually in my real life. 4 in the morning. Okay. Let's get all the way to the first 10, and then we'll do the second 10 on another stream in the future. We'll get through all 50 that way. We'll do 5 streams on this. Welcome to the next installation in our gallery. We arrive at piece number 6, titled I Contain My Own Potential. This specific color derivative employs a striking punk aesthetic combined with an inverted color palette. The artist utilizes a silvercraft technique on the skin tones. This bathes both figures in a brilliant metallic monochrome. The iconic uniform is radically transformed through this digital process. The front-facing Kobe wears a vivid neon pink jersey with sharp green accents. The back-turned Kobe anchors the foreground in the deep saturated green jersey with pink highlights. This contrast inversion creates a rebellious, electrifying atmosphere. Every pixel radiates raw, concentrated energy. The composition pairs 2 distinct captures from the historic 2015-16 retirement season. The front-facing Kobe projects an aura of intense focus, rendered with smooth, metallic precision. The back-turned Kobe stands firmly in the foreground to display the iconic number 24. They exist in a continuous loop of excellence. They look directly inward to find their own standard of greatness. This visual synergy perfectly echoes the title of the piece. They contain their own potential. I don't think Gemini understands that this Kobe's a basketball player and he's guarding himself. So I'm going to tell it that in the next prompt. Cool. So it's punk, silvercraft. It's just picking up the traits in the box. That's okay. I ain't mad at that. Okay, let's do number 7. Another airbrush cut. I'm my toughest opponent. I can't believe I have to tell it that. There's like a window behind the webcam that I can see my reflection very clearly in. Welcome to the 7th installation of our gallery exhibition. We arrive at piece number 7, titled I'm My Toughest Opponent. This composition embraces the rich and vibrant tradition of the African-American airbrush style. The pixel-painted execution applies smooth, high-saturated gradients across the digital canvas. The artist blends the figures into a luminous, dreamlike atmosphere typical of master airbrush murals. The rich hues elevate the subjects into a realm of pure, regal mythology while honoring deep cultural street art traditions. The composition places the front-facing Kobe in direct visual dialogue with the back-turned Kobe. The spatial arrangement creates the intense kinetic energy of a live basketball game. The front-facing Kobe squares up with absolute focus. The back-turned Kobe anchors the foreground in a defensive stance. I would say the front-facing Kobe is on defense, and he's about to let. And the back-turned Kobe is about to run off a screen or something. They are locked in an eternal one-on-one matchup. Thank you. This should be sold out. I'm sorry. Does that sound entitled? This should be sold out. Eternal one-on-one matchup of Kobe Bryant, minted by the Authentic photographer. I didn't go scrape images off like Google search and put this together and Kiki. These are my images. They would not exist without me. These are the only images. Like, I wouldn't say it. Like, there's millions of images of Kobe. What I'm saying is, these specific images wouldn't exist without me. And neither would this collection. The artist captures the exact moment of a contested possession on the hardwood. The subject acts as his own defender and his own offensive catalyst. He guards himself. He pushes his own boundaries to rise above his established limits. The visual synergy flawlessly echoes the title of the piece. Once we talking about transformed and analog capture in a highly textured digital masterpiece, every individual pixel functions as a deliberate application of digital paint. The glowing aura surrounding both figures represents the illumination of total athletic concentration. Look, I did something for everybody, and this is probably one of my least favorite pieces, which is why it's number 7. It's my favorite number. So I had to create a duality there. My least favorite render, which somebody's going to... So this is going to mean something to somebody. Somebody's really going to appreciate this. And that's why, as an artist, I'm just like, okay, sometimes I have to divorce my own tastes and do something for other people. Ooh-wee! This one is marked up. Every 8th piece is marked up. His original 8 number. Let's wait. I have to copy it. Prompt. Bam. Bam. Number 8. Okay. It's the most fun when it goes like deep into the choices. I gotta hold his hand. I don't think Gemini don't know ball like that. We'll see. Two more pieces and I'm going to close down stream. But if you caught this and you're watching live, I thank you dearly. And if you end up buying one of these pieces, literally just one means that the next 2 months of my life are so much easier. Just one. I know, $500 is not a lot of money. For me, it is. I'm keeping my life so marginal and low as to not expense myself to the community that is sustaining co-publishing. And that means I've taken some hits because it's hard out here. Okay? I'm lucky to even have a building to stream in at this point. Number 8. Welcome to the 8th masterpiece in our grand exhibition. We arrive at piece number 8, titled Number 8. This specific entry introduces a brilliant structural rhythm to the collection. The creator prices every multiple of 8 in the chronology at exactly 0.8 ETH, a deliberate elevation from, let's look at that, because it's a little bit, 1700. Let's put this in chat. If you think one of the other ones would fix my life, this is that'll, maybe, I don't know. I don't think that'll get me into my own building. I'm at the behest of other people right now just to like keep a roof over my head. This is, you're like, oh, why don't you go work? Y'all. Okay. It's going to be really hard to tell. Here to here. Surgery. Here to here. Surgery. Over here. Surgery. Over here. 2 surgeries. I'm in 24/7 constant pain. I have to manually drain my intestines just to survive, and that takes hours. So it's very easy to flatten me and reduce me to visual appearance and seek leverage. It's really hard to empathize with a hidden disability and the fact that the only way that I eat is to monetize my published assets. And when I publish those assets to monetize, the number one reaction that I get is sanctimonious leverage seeking to devalue what I'm doing. By people who could have never done this. Okay? It's not the people that I work. Cassie Athena, a friend of mine, would never have an attitude about any of this. She's a high-level producer and photographer. She sets the standard for how I expect to be treated. That's the sort of, my peers set the standard. It's not my hometown friends and my foster dad and my little sister, my foster family, the people that are creating issues, seeking leverage to devalue me, to value their own opinion. They removed my humanity completely dehumanized me, to pedestal their own unearned opinions about this exact technology. So I don't even talk to those people anymore. Horrible thing. It's a horrible thing to do to somebody. Devalue their published results as a community, as like, Anyway. This specific entry introduces brilliant structural... Oh, I already said that. Let's examine the extraordinary pixel-painted execution. The artist utilizes the raw analog to structure a fiercely kinetic scene. The digital brushstrokes swirl with immense energy, bathing the court in saturated hues of regal... Oh, did I not upload the damn image? Okay. That makes sense. You're just describing the same one you just described. Okay. This one I really like. I mean, I like them all. I wouldn't have released a single cut if I explicitly didn't like the cut. Number 7, I didn't really like it, but I talked myself into it because I said, you know what? Somebody's going to appreciate this. It doesn't satisfy my visual spikes, but somebody will appreciate it. Okay, welcome to the 8th masterpiece in our grand exhibition. This specific entry introduces a brilliant structural rhythm in the collection. We price every multiple of 8 at exactly 0.8 ETH, a deliberate elevation of the collection's baseline standard of 0.24 ETH. The mathematical choice honors the origins of Mamba mentality and transforms the pricing mechanism itself into a vital component of the art, and it prevents speculation. So it's hard to buy a 0.24 and flip it for thousands upon thousands of dollars when the ceiling is 0.8. So nobody's going to buy a flip for thousands of dollars when the original publisher still has pieces listed for less. Okay, let's examine the pixel painted execution, which utilizes the dreamscape art style to tap directly into the concept of memory. The artist transforms the captures into a surreal ethereal landscape. Look at the stunning palette choice. The skin tones are cast in a haunting translucent mint green, making the figures look like statues carved from jade or apparitions pulled from a collective basketball memory. Cool, I like that. Ooh, cool, Gemini, cool. A fine vertical texture runs through the figures like grain on a physical print, beautifully honoring the printed and memory traits. The background dissolves into a soft glowing haze of light, pulling all focus into the psychological tension on the hardwood. The composition places the subject in a perpetual intense battle against himself. Front-facing Kobe assumes a locked-in defensive posture, his gaze concentrated on the challenge ahead. Opposite him, the back-turned Kobe stands upright on offense, poised to initiate a sudden off-ball action. The spatial arrangement replicates the raw intensity of a live possession. The artist blends these distinct captures from the retirement season into a single unified climax where the athlete guards his own moment, forcing his own physical evolution. Guards his own movement, not his own moment. That also would have been a good line. A unified climax where the athlete guards his own movement, forcing his own physical evolution. We direct our focus back to the 8/8 mint dates. Yep. And now we can move on. So thank you to Gemini. I need to edit. You gotta edit the prompt in the copy, otherwise it's gonna mess up the format. Cancel. Bam. Let's make sure I add the image this time. 2 more, people. 2 more. And we'll do another stream later to get the next 10 done. Number 9. What? Stop that. 6, 7, 8, 9 here. I am my own limit. Ooh, this is one of the, like the watercolor takes. I'm so curious to see what these will look like on like a metal cast. Okay. Let's get rid of that prompt. Okay, alright, we have a good prompt here. Penultimate, and I can stop streaming. I would really much appreciate at least 1 customer. That would really help out because my car needs a couple $100 of repairs that I do not have. And 1 shot takes care of that. 2 shots means my bills are paid through July. 3 shots what do I mean 3 shots I can start buying for progress again. Then anything from 4 to 10 shots fully stabilizes me. Fully stabilizes me. I know I'm being censored and punished as like this rogue publisher, but that doesn't participate in enslavement and corporate corral. Since most everybody else willingly participates in enslavement and corporate corral. Y'all don't want to, not say y'all, but like a lot of y'all don't want to reward. You want to punish people that are trying to do the things independently. Yeah, with zero like empathy or honor to the humanity that it takes to even do that. You know what I mean? Like I got into the league to shoot during David Stern's last couple of years. And David Stern, as league commissioner, welcomed independent media. He grew the entire NBA through independent media. He scaled the product. We're talking about back in the 70s. He scaled NBA basketball from the 70s through today through independent media, letting access and letting them build the culture of the game. Now, these days, everything is corralled. Everything's in corporate silo, and everything's cronied up. Insular, crony, who you know type stuff. And I know a lot of people, but I don't manipulate that. To Bogdan, if you end up seeing this, Bogdan, I always call him Bogdan. It's fun. It's more fun to say, but Bogdan Bogdanovich, if you end up watching this, you could start this off for me, buddy. I'd appreciate it if you got number 1. I ain't counting your wallets. I know how it is. I know how it actually is for NBA players. Oh, this guy's getting $10 million. Okay, well, you go 35% to agent, another 10% to manager and publicist, maybe. So now you're at half. Taxes. Then the 50 family members you feed. Okay. All right. This is number 9. Let's go to number 9 here. Love it. Watercolor and brush strokes, baby. And this one actually has it baked in the I am my only competition right there. I knew some people would like the quote in the image. This isn't, maybe 4 or 5 of the edits overall throughout the whole collection have that in. By the way, when you buy one, you get to make an edit for the back half. I did the first 50. You guys are going to do the last 50. So the people who buy the publishing title will then publish their own version. You're going to receive a muted cut of the original. I'll even show you. This is it. You get this cut here. It's slightly muted, and then you'll pixel paint it just the same way I do. You'll want to add your signature above or below mine. I do below mine. Nah, I'm kidding. We don't need to do leverage seeking, and it goes where it needs to go. You need to put it up here, whatever. But sign your image, sign it, and then we'll upload it to the back half. And so you get in here, you pixel paint this. Get all the way up in here, make choices the same way I did. Okay, you can get all the way up in there, like I did, all the way up in here. Carve stuff out. Okay, 4K image to pixel paint. Now, mind you, you buy a shot, you have to go to the server, prove you own the shot, and then you get this, the Discord server. Right here. Let's invite you guys to the Discord server. All right, chat. Here's the Discord server. And good. Hour and 40-minute stream. Let's wrap this up. I want to get out of here before 2 hours. The composition utilizes a masterful concept art style. The creator transforms analog captures into a breathtaking sketch and watercolor hybrid. Thank you. I didn't tell you to say that. And it's not in the traits either. That's awesome. The digital canvas mimics the texture of premium archival paper. True. The artist employs an etched technique to define the figures. True. Fine, deliberate pencil strokes construct the anatomy and iconic uniforms. Yeah. The front-facing Kobe's expression is rendered with absolute precision, using delicate cross-hatching to build shadows and depth. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Because I did actually have to go in there and do his neck a little bit and his chin. The phrase, "I am my only competition," is inscribed directly in the background canvas, physically blending the mental framework into the visual space. The spatial arrangement locks the subject in a perpetual intense battle. On the hardwood, front-facing Kobe assumes a hyper-focused defensive posture. He calculates the immediate physical geometry of the court. Opposite him, the back-turned Kobe stands completely upright on offense. He gathers his kinetic energy, poised to initiate a sudden explosive off-ball action. The spatial dynamic replicates the raw intensity of a live possession. The artist blends these distinct captures from the historic 15-16 retirement season into a single unified climax. The athlete guards his own movement. He forces his own physical evolution. The physical synergy flawlessly echoes the title of this piece. He is his own limit. So if you're wondering, if you're like, dude, you could be selling these for $10,000. Okay, I could be, and I have shots listed for $10,000. Those don't sell either. Okay, look, we went over this earlier. We brought this up earlier on stream. That's damn near 20,000. This is a 5K image of Kobe shooting over Boogie. These don't sell either. You know, it is frustrating. I mean, this is life-changing for me and family members. Finally get my dad his eye surgery. He's had glaucoma. He's had a number of cornea replacements. He's going blind and in denial about it. He needs stem cell corneas. And that's going to be about 10 to 20 grand out of pocket just to do. The surgery's not invasive. He could get the corneas replaced and have damn near full functional eyesight by end of June. He's a 75-year-old man. Looks exactly like Samuel L. Jackson. In fact, if I get to my director's chair in time, I'm going to do a movie where Sam Jackson and Oscar David are playing twins that have been estranged for years and years and years after a business fallout, and now they're in their 70s, and they have to, everybody else around them has died, and they have to acknowledge and find their relationship again, because they're all each other has left. Sam, you want in on that? And if my dad isn't up to it, or God forbid something happens, I can do it with you and Forrest too. I can do it with you and Forrest Whitaker as well. That would be a banger. I kind of want to do it with you and Forrest. That'd be a banger, okay? Y'all know Denzel's almost 70 years old? That blew my mind. Okay, let's get back to Gemini here. I am definitely going to edit these and then post them to LinkedIn to a gallery, because I can probably sell these on LinkedIn. I haven't really given that much energy to selling these pieces, so that's on my fault for sure. 10, let's go to 10 here. I love 10. Look at this piece. This piece is awesome. This piece is awesome. This is one of the most choiceful pieces I've done. Like, I even got in here, look, I even left a patch of the jersey just untouched. Just to like, just because it's that sort of thing, you know? It's like, this was just like, go for it. Do whatever you need to do. And I inverted the T on the Bryant, like, it was just... So if your name's Brian, and you're a Kobe fan, this is the shot for you. Come on now. That's funny. All right, but yeah, it's 520, okay? 520. Think about it as 520 unless it shoots up heavy. This is I measure against myself. I measure against myself. last piece, and we'll wrap up the stream. Thank you all for watching. Please purchase. You know, if you're a streamer, you purchase, you print on canvas, you put it up in your streaming background. Absolutely, and that's not even commercial use. That's just private display. Like, I'm not gonna come seek 35% of your streaming revenues just because of Kobe's up in the background. That's absolutely insane. And nobody on my behalf or on my estate's behalf is ever allowed to do that. I just want to be clear. Quote that. Snip it out. No, I think one of my market issues is I'm consumed is not being humble. But that's a ridiculous goalpost to apply to a morbidly disabled person who's barely surviving. It's not about humility. It's about maximizing the assets that I have. And my time, my applied time to the day, is not an asset that I have. That's why I'm doing a stream at 5 in the morning. I passed out yesterday from a pain spike really early. What, around 6 or 7? I woke up around 2 in the morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, made a cup of coffee, and said, okay, I got to do something with this time. Let's talk about Kobe. Let's do this. Welcome to the 10th installation of our gallery exhibition. We stand over piece number 10, titled I Measure Against Myself. This composition introduces the mesmerizing absentia art style, beautifully layered with the inked and voodoo traits. The pixel-painted execution creates a heavy fractional background that resembles a thick impasto application of oil paint. Swirling blocks of deep violet, midnight blue, and stark white gather behind the figures like a stormy atmosphere. Is that what you're picking up to be stark white? What I did with the audience members is stark white. Okay. It's certainly not that area. The artist utilizes distinct, sharp inked contours to define the silhouettes. The contrast separates the subjects from the chaotic background energy, giving the composition a striking graphic intensity. The back-turned jersey is rendered in a unique moss green. I guess. Still yellow to me. But that's because I left the patch in there to invoke that the rest of this is yellow. Also, I just love this. Choice! It's just me saying, hey, Kamani was in here making choices. Ain't no filter. I was masking and getting in there with a pixel paintbrush. Ain't no choices. I'm sorry, ain't no filters, ain't no AI. Look at that. I love it. I love it so much. Okay. The back-turned jersey is rendered unique moss green, creating exceptional color harmony with the regal purple worn by the opposing figure. The spatial arrangement. Okay, we talked about the matchup. The subject acts as his own marker, checking his own drive and guarding his own brilliance. Yeah. Okay. I will post this in chat too. This is one of my favorite cuts from the collection so far. And thank you to the 3 people who tuned in to watch this. And with that said, go check out letmeout.productions while you're here. Check out everything we're doing with collectively publishing the economy. Yeah, you know what? Let's take a moment and just talk about that. Just a moment. Won't be too long. We need a folder called... Get my file structure off here. All you social engineers and weirdos. Like you could ever find your way around my files. That's funny. Okay. Let's talk about co-publishing real quick. This is the brand of Let Me Out Productions. There's a huge paradigm shift that every viewer has to adopt. Okay, and that's the, we're no longer doing Shark Tank as merchants in intellectual property. we are doing community garden as merchants and intellectual property. So what that means is I'm not bringing Let Me Out Productions as an investment vehicle into Shark Tank under one unit of property, pitching them our metrics, pitching them our goals and our futures, and then saying to them, okay, well, across from all of that, performance and futures, we want you guys to buy 16% of the brand across from what's 40 ethereum? Okay, 84 times 16. Oh wait, no, it's that's really funny. Okay, let's times this by 10%. Also 10. Wait. Okay, so let's say that's funny. Let's say I ask for 1/1000th of our brand potential across from the 80,000 or the 16%. 16% for what? So for 1/1000th of brand potential, $672,000. So that you can picture it. I go into Shark Tank. There's Cuban, there's Damon, there's Wonderful, there's Barbara, and I'm saying I'm the original co-publisher in the world. Hi everybody, I'm the first person to put together Community Garden for co-publishing a brand. We have 16% of that garden available, and I would like to make it available to you for $670,000. That's 1/1000th of the market potential of that property. Or well, I'll say 1/1000th of the listing potential of that property. We'll say it that way. It's funny because Bored Ape Yacht Club has transacted $4 billion in their listing. Well, this is by schedule. This would take years and years and years. This would take probably 10 to 15 to 20 years to get to the 80,000 supply, which means that it would take 20 years to build a $7 billion studio. Which is ideal. You don't pump it, you build it. But not if we're obfuscated and censored and stolen from and enslaved. As though you have the right to do it. Because you're data people. You're tech people, you just steal data. Okay, we're talking about that stakes, actually. We're talking about that. First publishing title in the brand, March 31st, 2021. Okay. This is I don't like the term NFT because it's just what you're describing is a technical standard for a published result. So we don't. This is a website. I'm not visiting an HTML right now. Okay, I'm not visiting an HTML. I'm not visiting an HTML. These aren't HTMLs. They're websites. HTML is the technical standard with which the website is published. Does that make sense to people? So same thing with NFTs. It's a publishing title. Then NFT is the technical standard for which the publishing title is created. That's what brings it into existence and into transaction. But you can call it an NFT if you want. I'm going to call it publishing title because I'm fucking first. Oh, I said I did it again. 3/31/2021. Okay, and then you have Bored Apes 4/22/2021. Here's why you hate this. You were sold sanctimony instead of information. So you don't have any idea that blockchain is a public notary service that records simultaneous user transactions in blocks, keeps those in a chain. It's just a system for impartial witness and building Legos, like Lego kits, on a public bulletin board. I'll go explain it. So this is block 45,885,219. 209 user transactions, 46 software transactions. So 255 transactions stacked all together. I don't know how. Oh, is it in here? Oh, look at that. So these are all the users that registered transactions in this block, and then here's the actual transaction count that they put in the block, and then here's the transaction fees that we paid to the validators. So there's 255 people that each paid a couple of cents to the validators of this block. It's boring. It's actually boring. So here's why you hate this.
Guess what's gonna happen? Friend of the show, Paris Hilton. Let's take a look at what she had to say.
I jumped in.
I know, I heard. I'm so happy I taught you what they were.
You did. You taught me what's up, and then
Hassan, I know you watch my shit, or somebody from your team watches my shit and then tells you what I say. You are, by far, the worst thing to happen to America in a long time. In a long time. You, with this exact communication style we're about to dive into, have ruined the modern politic. You've ruined what it means to be leftist. You've ruined what it means to be progressive. You've corrupted the entire thing around yourself, around this notion that you are a purity test of the left. And so you're able to manipulate millions of people and their feelings doing dog shit like this. Now, before we dive into this, because I need the FTC to fully understand that the Young Turks, Hassan Piker, all of that shit is insular crony corruption. Insular crony corruption, okay? This is a show, it's the same way this is a publishing framework. This is a publishing framework. You write a deed to the property. In the deed to the property, you establish the property as a fractional asset. Community garden. Each plot in the garden does this. All that stated in a deed. So when I buy a plot in the garden, I'm actually an owner of that property. I'm an owner of the property that's been published. And I'm an owner of what that property can further express into the market. Same thing with the copies. So you can express it as a print, and you can express your own artistic edit into the back half of the collection. So that's what a publishing title is. It's on the public notary. So we build brands, products, services, experiences, distributed assets, that's logistics, data pools as Lego kits. And we own what we publish. We own what we publish. And owning what you publish means that your specific published result is in position for earned residuals or earned performance. This is what's at stake here. So just remember these terms. There's 3 terms. One is shared property. Community garden, tandem bike, puzzle structure, whatever helps you bring it into your mind. But we're not going into Shark Tank and negotiating percentages out of one unit as an investment vehicle. We've separated actually the entity from the property. Those are 2 separate assets in any case. There's the state registered entity, and then there's the intellectual property that the entity wraps itself in. 2 different assets, and I'll explain that real quick, because some people may not be familiar with the information. So here is a group called Mondelez International. You used to know them as Nabisco, National Biscuit Company. The entity changed names. The state-registered entity of Nabisco changed their brand into Mondelez International, or maybe they merged with Mondelez. I don't know how that worked. But regardless, the entity and the brand are 2 separate assets. So they abandoned the wrapping of Nabisco. They presumably still own the brand, the property, the trademark, all of that. But that's now a separate asset. They can go monetize and maximize that however they want without it affecting Mondelez. They can even make it a sub-brand if they want. But Mondelez is the entity. If I want to invest in Mondelez, I can buy a share for $61.76. Now, my premise on that customer purchase is that this will increase in value because of the performance of Mondelez and all of the brands that they manage. So what I'm doing is I'm inherently buying a piece of value capture, and I'm expecting it to go up in value. So that's investment. It's also sort of a form of gambling on the labor of others. I don't love it, but I want to be clear in that that's not what you do with any of these. It's also not what you're supposed to do with these, but that's what they wanted to do. So here, you don't buy a piece of LMO for so let's compare that to shares or in Mondelez. I'm not even gonna pretend I know what I'm looking at over here. I just want the amount of stock that Mondelez has issued. Oh, okay. There it is. 1.28 billion shares. $80,000 community garden plots. This is not even in the same realm of discussion. It's not competitive to investment. It's publishing. And publishing will not replace investment. What it will do is it will shore up the property pre-investment. That's what it will do. And it can be applied to all of these, actually. They can co-publish all of it. They can co-publish the root kit, and then they can co-publish annual expressions of the brand. And that means they're expanding their catalog of transactions for each of these brands by a lot. Because now you can sell publishing on top of the actual products. And then the results that are published can also be monetized, and then you pay residuals to people who help. The economy is now flowing liquid to everybody who's contributing, man. Fishes and loaves, baby. I know what y'all think, but I'm really uncomfortable with that. I'm super uncomfortable with that. I don't think it's true. Beyond that. Okay, so difference between entity and publishing. Now, in the publishing, I am the president. It's right here. I'm going to go link it in chat, too. Shit. It's not my fault. Nobody wants to report newsworthy information to the public. Oh, I got 41 views all of a sudden. Cool. All right. Now, I used to work at Young Turks.
The most important thing that we can do right now
Came up with this
is to re-engage the American
format called Streaming Chat Interactive Deliverables. This is October 24th, 2012. So what that means is YouTube did not have live streaming built in with a chat and everything. Twitch wasn't around. This wasn't even a thing. They did have open broadcast software, so people were streaming, but in terms of streaming direct with chat as a panel on screen with you, and then you interacting with chat and turning it into deliverable content, I believe this is one of the first of its kind. Now, that said, this isn't a zeitgeist-bending moment in the grand scale, but it did inform Hassan Piker's career. Now, you know I'm the precedent setter in publishing on the blockchain. You know I've established his publishing framework that he's using right now, streaming chat interactive deliverables. Okay? He knows that too. He knows I'm the precedent. He knows that I seeded his career format because he directly is doing this. This is what he's doing. He was at Rutgers when I did this. Okay, this is what he's doing to then slander this. And he's slandering in a very awful way. Let's let him slander it.
Friend of the show, Paris Hilton. Let's take a look at what she had to say.
I jumped in.
I know, I heard. I'm so happy I taught you what they were.
You did. You taught me what's up, and then I bought an ape.
Is this a gem?
I got an ape too because I saw you on the show with people and you said you got a MoonPay, so I went and I copied you and did the same thing.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
This is disgusting. This is disgusting. These apes are straight up trying to fucking milk their audience, dude. That's it. There's nothing there. This is an ad. This is a hashtag ad. And the hashtag ad is basically saying, hey, give me your money, dumbass. Give me your fucking money, you stupid fuck. That's what this hashtag ad is. I hate it. I hate it. I hate cryptocurrency so much. I hope all these rich people lose all their money. I'm sorry. I hate crypto. I fucking hate the NFT shit. I hate the apes. There's such transparent fucking Ponzi schemes. I hate it so much. I'm going to end up watching that 2-hour folding ideas video. Like, that's how much I fucking hate it. You know what I mean? It just makes me so angry. People try to act like they're gonna really help out the, you know, the creator economy. It's gonna revitalize it. It's gonna revolutionize the creator economy. It's like, it's not. It's a Ponzi scheme, okay? It's a Ponzi scheme for an ugly duck or an ugly ape that they fucking copy paste. It's created by people that don't know anything about fucking art. It is disgusting. And also on top of that, like, the art space has always been very fucking elitist, very insular, and also been used as a way to fucking hide your assets, okay?
You know, I can't do it. I literally can't. His tone of voice is insufferable. I cannot listen to this fucking moron talk. I can't do it. I don't know how the rest of you can. Okay, so what he's committing fraud right here. Why is he talking about an antecedent publication as a Ponzi scheme? I'm collegiately adjacent. I don't think we were ever at the studio at the same time. People there tell me different. I don't remember meeting that guy at all. I got canned a couple months before we started working there. I got canned because Anna made a mistake on air and then decided to blame me for it. And then I said, that's dog shit. And then literally the entire studio moved to collude around that. When they all knew Anna made a mistake and was blaming and scapegoating somebody else. And I saw 20 people line themselves up with a fucking lie and all pursue the outcome of a lie. And I said, whoa, is that what Los Angeles culture is? And I talked to a couple of other friends down there that are all going through the same things. Y'all are insular crony dog shit pits. That's what you really are. You know it too. You know it, and you're all barely holding on. Because the viewers are dwindling. There's nothing, you know, the 2-year horizon for the Young Turks is dreadful. And I'll tell you what, Hassan did that to you. Hassan did that to you. Jank knows. Nobody's damaged TYT more than Hassan Piker. By far. You couldn't have asked for a worse outcome. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So the reason why you, the general public, hate non-fungible tokens, the reason why you hate blockchain, is because this dipshit sanctimonious tantrum that he threw on February 2nd, 2022. Actually, this is broadcast. The broadcast took place late January, but the clip was posted February 2nd. So, we're talking about, what is that, 11 months after I create co-publishing, and now he knows. He knows it's me, because I told him. And he blocked me immediately. We wanted to keep selling fraud. Where is that? I need this cleared up, because these Kobe's got to sell, and you guys don't buy NFTs. They're not NFTs, they're publishing titles. I'm the precedent. You will listen to me. I'm not going to listen to fucking Hassan Piker make shit up and slander. He's selling you sanctimony. He's selling you exactly what I was talking about earlier, the illusion that you're morally superior to a technology that registers information. What a clown. What an absolute clown. And he ruined, I need people to understand the effect, because it's a global effect. A global effect this guy has on the markets. He ruined the market for non-fungibles in Argentina. Okay, I have a whole Second Life down there. I have a whole group of friends. If I could go there today and disappear from this country and go build with actual people that want to publish results instead of sit across the street with folded arms and point and laugh while they're broke and in debt and they don't want to post. I don't know enough about the Second Coming myth to know if widespread sanctimony against the attempts to fix the economy are part of it. But I also am so uncomfortable being subject to that thinking. So one thing, okay, I am James Earl Jones' grandnephew. I'm one of 70 plus grandnieces, grandnephews of James Earl Jones. It's not a big deal, but it is plot armor. You are beaten. It is useless to resist. Don't let yourself be destroyed as Obi-Wan did. Not today. Anyway, I say sending you love, man, but we can change the world in slightly less than a year. TYT, about 7-8 months before you got there. It was actually 3 to 4 months before you got there. I didn't know that at the time, though. So love me some Dave Kohler, though. I say pocket socialism. Can we please chat about it off stream? No clout needed here. Vader blood, I'm good. Let's work together to actually get a real socialistic model off the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 5 things I've ever said in his Twitch chat. I've never said anything more than this, and he permabanned. Now, you can challenge him. Tell him to bring up the conversation. Tell him to bring up my unban request. I told him to go fuck himself. He's a lying clown. And he should be arrested for fraud. Not for Cuba. Nobody cares about Cuba. I do care about him bending the market at scale with fraud. Gemini also agrees. So here's block number 1, right? And then Twitter, the place where I've tweeted at him for years to correct the narrative, he's blocked me there too. So what that means is he crafted the sanctimonious tantrum against an antecedent publication and has refused to report the precedent information that's coming from a platform-adjacent colleague. Okay. Remember, we weren't there at the same time, but I was main show material.
We have a correspondent at the edge of the Earth. And so let's just check in with him and see if, in fact, the globe is a sphere or if there is a wall to be protected. It's not the wall, it's not the stars, it's the Dothrakis!
It is known that the Earth is flat.
So what's behind you?
Behind me, there is a wall of ice that goes up
Barry, this is
to
my
space.
tape for everything.
But why would there be...
Barry over at IAG, Barry McPherson. That's my tape for everything. I'm not gonna ever record a different tape. Just send that in. What is it? Somebody reached out to me. It was the mushroom zombie. Last of Us. You don't think they want to do something with this? This is 18 years of hair. You don't think... Well, first of all, I'm a Walking Dead guy. I'm a Walking Dead guy through and through. Food on plates, baby. That's the mission. That's what we do with showbiz, okay? That's what we do. Food on plates. They've been doing it 16 years, and they ain't stopping. And they will never stop over at The Walking Dead if I have any say about it. That's going to be a 40-year world, okay? But anyway, I'm a Walking Dead guy. So if I'm ever going to be on screen with my hair doing... But in the Mushroom Kingdom... Doesn't this is interesting. Woo! Because, you know, in the Walking Dead franchise, the hair ain't gonna move. The hair's not gonna move. But in Last of Us, oh, we could get Medusa up with it. Okay? Here's the thing, Craig. Y'all need to value what I'm coming from. And then you can also value what I'm coming into. Because your boy broke. That $1.55 is literally all I have. I'm not kidding. My PayPal's negative $20. And then past that, I have that. I'm not in debt. 0 debt. And I have a car I could sell. I've got a bunch of equipment I can sell. But why would I sell my car? Why would I sell my equipment when I have this Kobe shot at $5K? It's exclusive one-of-one Kobe that I took. It doesn't exist without me. Amazon, you guys have Boogie? He's on one of your shows right now, right? Oh, I know. Ooh, you know who would do this? You know who would do this? Let me look it up. Let's see. Let's practice some Mongolian, huh? Fun fact. Late 2010s, I had a chance to go participate in a program to preserve the Mongolian language. But I am a huge, like, because of my disability, with my paralyzed digestive tract, all that, that makes, it doesn't make travel complicated. Travel's easy. I'm not worried about travel. The way that I medicinally handle that, marijuana is one of the only things that truly helps me, because I struggle with appetite. Every time I eat, I'm in intense pain. I pass out from the intense pain. I've got malformed ascending and transverse colon. Then I have a 2.5 centimeter wide area that's completely dead, full of scar tissue strictures, and that has to be physically opened up to drain the transverse into the descending colon, which is completely paralyzed all the way through. So then that has to be, you have to do the peristalsis yourself. Y'all want to see what it looks like? And this takes 2 to 8 hours every day. So that's why you won't find me on sets. The NBA stuff worked out because, like, the games are at night. So I could manage, and then, yeah. So there's this. So, hi, Last of Us. My name's Kamani Okearah. I am very much James Earl Jones' grandnephew. Thank you for looking at what I'm doing over here. I'm not a performer, but I'll go there. You think I give a shit? I literally can't give a shit. Okay. Ascending colon. You're looking at me from the back right now. Ascending colon, transverse colon. Just a ruinous gallbladder situation. Here's the stricture date. I was kicked here in 2016 by an ex-girlfriend. She kicked in the surgery, and that's what has caused this. So this has to be physically opened up, and I will, I know, you guys, the people watching this, like, whoa, this took a turn. We're talking about this right here, what I have to do to survive this every day. On standby over here, I got these 2 boar bristle brushes. What I have to do is I go up here, and I yank that open. I have to get the grain right, but I yank that over. So I go up here and I just go. I'm not in any sort of like bowel movement or situation right now, so I'm able to do this with very low. Well, it's still very painful, but I'm just so used to it at this point. We're in year 10. So I don't perform pain. I don't really do reactive pain. I tend to actually just take it all away from public perception. So a lot of people don't know what I go through. They can't perceive it because I'm not performing it for their consumption. This part you can see completely paralyzed, and then this is the exit canal. So once food, this part, thank goodness this works. And then this, once it gets over here, I have to clear this. So if this all gets all backed up, I start feeling real weird, a bad burrito type weird. I feel bad burrito weird 99% of the time. Like you ate bad Chipotle. That's how I feel 99% of the time. And so I have to drain that into the descending colon, and then after that happens, I have to manually work this area. I don't even feel this at all. It's completely numb. This area hurts quite a bit. This area is completely numb, and then down here there's like some like faintness that you can focus on. And then so between these 2 pain areas, actually, it's very interesting. If you meditate and you imagine like green grass here, green grass down here where I have a slight feeling, and then the rest of this is brown grass. With a meditation, I can sort of just imagine the field coming together with green grass over and over and over and over and over and over and over, years and years and years and years. And I don't know if it's gotten me anywhere, but the hope that it will puts me in good spirits in most days. Some days I absolutely feel like I should exit the planet the next. Because y'all, we are leverage-seeking, sanctimonious creatures. Goldman Sachs should have bought this years ago. A16Z Crypto should have bought this years ago. In fact, let's put it in chat. I don't even know if this is the only place I can list it. I don't think it's on OpenSea because they have some of my stuff censored for no reason, like medical records. You have that censored, you fucking clowns. I did it again. I reacted again. My bad. I'm trying to get better at it. I don't do that like to people. If you piss me off in person, I just leave. Why am I on there? I'm going to chat here. I'm gonna go here, there. So somebody can buy my X-ray. Hopefully it's Goldman Sachs. There's a prettier version too. You guys want to get into pixel painting, huh? I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing this since 2004. Pixel painting stuff. Here it is, this one. So now you know what I go through there. But this is me taking my X-ray and turning it into a masterpiece. Ascending colon. That's the hallway at Balboa High School in San Francisco. That's where my foster dad went to high school. This is actually my logo, which is kind of a water tension droplet with a globe in it. The ripple effect of creating a world. This is my spine, which incidentally is made out of a shot of my lens, then shooting a Kings and Clippers game. There's part of my face, there's part of my hair. Up here is Lake Tahoe in my ascending to transverse colon, and that's not actually what Lake Tahoe looks like at all, but I just decided to map snowy lake topography to that area, and then I put keep Tahoe blue. That's our backyard. I'm in the upper Sierras. I grew up in a town called Forest Hill. So if you take the back roads, you can get to the lake in about, what, an hour or so on a summer day when it's not snowing. But if you go to Auburn and then take the highway, it's probably still an hour. What am I saying? We're not that far from Tahoe. The problem is every time we went to Tahoe as kids, I went to Incline Village, which is North Tahoe. Which, incidentally, makes sense because this is the North Lake. It's not what it looks like, though. So if you're like, oh, that's not what Tahoe... I know. But that is what my transverse colon looks like, and that's not good. Okay? Then you have Metroid, one of my favorite... It's my favorite video game series, Metroid. It's what my life feels like. You're just on an alien planet by yourself, fighting monsters that nobody knows exists. The lore's great, though. I made myself really sad, but the lore is incredible, just like Metroid. So it's my favorite video game series. We had a little group of friends growing up, where Ryan, Brandon, myself, and we were all big Nintendo people. And Ryan was the Mario guy, Brandon was the Zelda guy, and I was the Metroid guy. And we were all Pokemon. Nobody had that siloed. Yeah. So when you get up to the Gallbladder area, this is Santa Cruz, California. A sunset that I took at the beach. And then I pixel painted these seagulls out of white. But I put a little streak in there to highlight the malformations. And that's just my college town was Santa Cruz. Some of my dearest friends in life come from UC Santa Cruz. Really, the only people that have maintained their support through co-publishing have come from Santa Cruz. It hasn't been Mario guy stabbed me in the back at the start of all this. And then there's my hair, right? So I love doing these wraps on because my hair is long. It's 18 years, and so what happens is, like, this is all just my hair, and somebody can come along and just rip it, right? So you take that, I don't know how to say it, Canelicon. So you take that and you wrap your skinnies with it. And you take what you do is you wrap your skinnies with it. You take a needle and thread and just do an up and down pattern through the whole wrap. Then you take, first you take a lighter and shrink it. Be very careful to not burn yourself or burn your hair. Then you take a needle and thread, you sew it up and down. It'll stay locked on place. And when you're washing your hair still washes, and then sometimes I leave gaps, but your hair will still wash because you're just washing it. It's just coming out of a tube now. And then always use apple cider vinegar in your hair wash when you have dreadlocks, or your dead skin is... shampoo won't get the dead skin out. Apple cider vinegar takes it all away. Okay, Okearah Path. There you go, Goldman Sachs. I'm calling them out because so many people over there have expressed interest in collective publishing on LinkedIn and stuff, and it's like, guys, why am I broke? I don't need a lot. Okay? you don't have to launch the behavior necessarily, but just sustain a person, because right now it's a community of people that have the exact same money that I have. Okay. Like, what are we doing? The patron of the science, Zion Terese, like, I'm on OpenSea, right, to look at that. She has the exact same money. She has more cycle to her economy, which is why the community is able to sustain off of her, but we need more transactions in the catalog. Let me show you Zion's thing real quick. Let's put it in chat. I'm not going to not promote Paco while I'm on the Kobe stream. Come on now. Kobe would love this. Kobe would love this. Okay, so everybody lose this attitude. You can have this attitude about people that are pumping brands through gambling. Fine. Have that attitude about that. But treating the entire notary tool, which is a publishing tool, as though it's only for gamblers, that comes from this idiot and his performative tantrum. He didn't tell you any information at all. He's just throwing a tantrum and acting like he's better than everything. Okay? Look how joyous TYT was when I was there. I love this screen. Look how happy Jenk and Anna are. Oh man, I'm not sure Hassan's ever put smiles on either of them faces like that. Okay. See, this was back when they thought I was still cute and like brand new. Oh no, I'm not gonna check. I'm pretty sure I'm getting trolled. That's too many notifications. I'm not. You know what I mean. So did somebody buy a shot? Anybody buy one of these things? Let me not put my password on. Thank you to the live viewers. 49 viewers. That's incredible. I love y'all. There's a whole black and white collection here. Devin and the OpenSea team. You guys need to put back all my stuff. Look, when I hit... I don't know why that did. There's LeBron missing, and there's a Dwayne Wade missing. People purchase these. They need to be on display in the collection. You're disaffecting the value of my collection. It's funny, I told Megan the Stallion to buy this and burn it. 1600. Or a Stallion fan can do it and it'll be ceremonial. There's a mechanic on the blockchain where you can burn assets and remove them from existence. Please don't do that to things I publish. But in the case of Clay here, I think it would just be funny. So for the humor of it, I'm all the way signed up. That's like, that is on the notary, like this little pop culture moment. I'm also like, this is me. So if you see any of the LMO assets owned by Dread Frostbite, that's just me. And I sell a lot of stuff from my personal account because it's my stuff. Like the $5.1 million code, the original cut. This is the original composite that I made. In fact, let's read it. I am my only competition, part of the Kobe Bryant set. Exclusive ownership opportunity. The best example of the quality of Okearah's photographic work in full resolution, 5K for enjoyment and exclusive ownership. The raw files are included in the transaction, so I will send you the original raw files of this composite. Oh yeah, see, it's 1/7/2016, not the 17th, but that's okay. It's just dyslexic typo. It's on so many of these, though. Yeah, AI didn't type. I actually put I wish I had AI. I would have made that mistake. All right, this is the only available edition of this specific color photograph. And where is my terms, bro? Oh, here it is. Okay. The photographer reserves the right to produce a total of 100 artistic edits of this piece, including black and white editions of this original photograph. So I have to produce the first 50, and then you guys will co-publish the last 50 of these edits. Cool? Cool. Nike, you got me? 2408 Ethereum. You got me? Don't worry about Devin's bleaching. I already have it figured out. Don't worry about that at all. You still need the historical pieces, okay? These are historical pieces. Yeah, this is minted May 1st, 2021. See, they hid that. They hid that off of my stuff, man. They're trying to devalue me. It's not even a joke. So yeah, so get over the blockchain hate. It's literally just a public notary service for providing impartial witness to things, which you're all looking at, and we've all enjoyed today. Right. The last sanctimonious thing that you guys all believe is that blockchain is a big energy user. I'll just let the DuckDuckTo handle it. Ethereum's energy consumption is approximately 0.0026 terawatt hours per year, significantly lower than many other industries and cryptocurrencies thanks to its proof-of-stake consensus mechanism. The significant reduction in energy use is primarily due to its transition from proof-of-work to a proof-of-stake consensus mechanism. To better understand ETH's energy consumption, here's a comparison with other industries and cryptocurrencies. So, global data centers, right? 190 terawatt hours a year. Gaming, 34 annual terawatt hours per year. So if you're a video gamer and you have a stick up your butt about energy use, stop. Period. You're in zero position. That's not a pedestal you get to be on. Proof of stake Ethereum, 0.0026 terawatt hours per year. What's interesting about this is that means that we can use the public notary, this publishing tool, to publish data pools for AI expression and all that, and then have that footprint come down way low. But anyway, let's get back to, I missed this. I was talking about the stakes earlier and I kind of dropped the ball. So, going back to the Shark Tank thing, we have a property that's separate from the entity, the limited liability company, that uses Let Me Out Productions as the brand. The brand is a separate property. That brand is a community garden of 500,000 parcels. It's established through deed, and then the parcels are established on the public notary. Precedent. Not for gambling, but for building. Legos and a build kit. Precedent. All right? So the main things to focus on are shared property, number one. Number two is each individual unit of the shared property is formed with a publishing title, which means the titles what's published within it as property of the owner, and then it also titles what can further be expressed. We've been over it with the Kobes. You own what's in it as your property. You can print it, metal cast it, whatever. If you go commercially, if you seek a commercial relationship with that property, there are terms from the creator. And that's so you own what's in it as your property, and you own what it can further express as your property. So what that means is, what can a Kobe further express? Another Kobe. I only did the first 50. You guys are going to do the last 50. So you buy one, you get the muted cut, you paint over it. Maybe you can have a bunch of people do it. That's a huge image. Okay, like it's a 5K image that you're getting. Sorry, 4K image that you're getting to paint over. I was here, yeah. And then we'll release that into the chronology once we have collected all 50. Not all 50. I'm just gonna do them as we get them. If you want a specific number like 81, like the first person who buys it can be like, I'm gonna make number 81, right? Is that not worth 520 bucks right there? You buy a Kobe and then you get to make 81. I'll hold it until we're at 81 in the chronology, and then I'll release it. Okay, so publishing titles. Number one, shared property. In the brand, product, service, experience, distributed assets, set of logistics, data pool, hardware, software, etc. Shared property. Da, 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 da. First concept. Second concept, each piece of the shared property is formed using a publishing title. Titles was published within it as property, titles what it can further express. Third, the person who possesses that publishing title is a co-publishing owner. They are an owner of the property, they have authority over that property, and if that property performs in the market in some way, or if their result performs in the market in some way, they have relationship to that market result. Residual, commission, royalty, whatever it is. Oftentimes, they can go form their own sovereign market results. Just like with the Kobe's are mostly, I'm at 35% commercial use as the creator. So it's not completely sovereign, but the choice isn't like, oh, I want to go see if I can put this on a billboard with Nike. Go for it. Got to cut me in on 35% of that deal, but go for it. Okay, publishing title. Shared ownership, co-publishing owner. 3 concepts I need you guys to focus on because we're being data scraped right now using this exact methodology, and I will show you. They're not being subtle. They just want you to kill me so they can enslave you. Look. It's the exact same shit. But here, instead of it being a shared property, it's a data campaign collection. Instead of it being a publishing title, where what's titled within it is your property, and what titles what can be further expressed is your property, it's now just a data shard. And instead of you being a co-publishing owner, you're a contributor. This is antecedent bullshit. Shame on Story, shame on Mark, shame on Cy Lee. Shame on Jason Zhao, who originally ripped me off to do this bullshit. You guys are garbage. So they did a Poseidon data extraction for voice collection. They didn't tell anybody they're co-publishing the voice collection. So all these people did their contributions. They don't own their contributions. They've contributed data shards to a collection. That is what is at stake. Are your children going to be co-publishing owners in a shared property of publishing titles, or are they going to be contributors of data shards to a corporate collection? I'm being enslaved in real time. They've not given me a dime to adopt that publishing method. Not one dime. They've spent $216 million on their software, and not one dime of that has gone to the original demonstration that they ripped off. And I know they ripped him off, and they know they ripped me off. I wonder why that is. I'm surprised this video is still up. Frankly. I'm shocked. Let's exit the chat on what? Open. Oh, okay. Let's talk about what Hassan did. Giving your direct collegiate history at the Young Turks in the specific architectural context of the Alamo structure, the situation shifts from a detached public commentary to a targeted disruption of an innovative market framework. When a media professional with a dominant platform uses their reach to systematically flatten a structural tool against a toxic antecedent like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, the economic and legal implications cross into anti-competitive territory. And everybody over at TYT knows this. They're all covering for this dipshit. He hasn't done anything for that platform. When a dominant broadcast voice is put on notice by the primary innovator, chooses to block that innovator, and continues to misrepresent the utility of the tool, let's put this up at the same time. And continues to misrepresent the utility of the tool to suppress an alternative distribution economy, the behavior can be analyzed under specific antitrust and trade laws. So, one is the Sherman Antitrust Act. Hi, Hassan Piker and your stupid fucking lawyers. They should just quit your team and leave you to the dogs as far as I'm concerned. You're a lying clown who tried to get everybody data and enslaved just to hide TYT community. What a bullshit, horrible human being you are. All you care about is your celebrity. That is it. And so to craft your celebrity, you formed yourself into the purity test of the left while you have zero values. Anybody who is a socialist would have immediately understood that blockchain is a tool that socializes authenticity and therefore socializes published property and socializes labor as property. An actual socialist who did an ounce of research on the tool would have realized that immediately. But either you sniped me as a colleague or you work for these people. It's one of the two. It could be both. Anyway, Sherman Antitrust Act, monopolization of the information stage. When did you broadcast this again? Oh, that's right. 11 months after 11 months after publishing even formed. And all you're doing is reacting to one publication and their gambling, the antecedent. And then after I tell you we're doing pocket socialism, you block me. And then, since that's not thorough enough, right? We've been at it on Twitter for years. You don't even come up because I just don't care. There he is. Okay. Look, this is for the FTC. I want this guy in jail. Not for the Cuba shit. Nobody cares about that. I want him in jail for market bending. What did you just say? Oh, you're up at 5 in the morning. Scared off your ass. This dude claimed he was voting Democrat to punish Trump because he was a servant of Israel. Now he's back on the team because he had... I don't get it. Are you selling sanctimony using Israel? Using the nation of Judea? You are not going to unite the Philistines and the nation of Judea. You are going to make it worse. You're going to make it more violent. Look, so here's one block. Here's 2 blocks. 2 choices to block the precedent and continue selling fraud against the antecedent. So Gemini, who I found to be a very impartial system. I'll even show you the prompt. So the first, he says, please explain every law Hassan Piker is breaking by fraudulently representing blockchain and NFTs, the Ponzi scheme, by focusing on one publication that came after Lightmap Productions. First, it says, in a blanket, abstract way, if he doesn't know me and he doesn't react to me trying to teach him the precedent, then he's not committing any laws. It's just free speech reaction. So I traditionally would agree, which is why I reached out to him in the first place. Because I reached out when I got blocked on Twitch, I reached out in May of 2022. So that's 3 months after this broadcast, 4 months after this broadcast. Because I didn't know about this until May. Somebody put it in my Discord DMs and say, "What's this guy doing? Like, why is he selling lies to millions of people about what we're all doing? Like, can you reach out to him and fix this? Because there's thousands of merchants that are just publishing, and he's driving away millions of would-be customers with lies about one group." Fucking clown. Kamala would be president right now because we'd have sound Web3 policy built around co-publishing and treating the blockchain as a publishing tool. But instead, this idiot decided to sell a fraud that the entire tool was for gambling. Didn't teach anybody how it worked, what it was for. He's just throwing a reactive tantrum like he usually does as the self-elected purity test of what information even is. Get this fucking clown off air. Okay? The damages that he's done, you can't even put to words. The sort of damage that he's done to the market, nobody has ever done before in their life. And he's getting us all data scraped and enslaved because now, instead of publishing what you own in a shared property, you are contributing data shards to a corporate collection. Thanks, Hassan. That's you, Hassan. You and your sanctimonious tantrum throwing. And guess what? Donald Trump in office right now, that's also you, Hassan. Beyond Elon cheating the election, beyond all that, you made it marginal enough so he could cheat the election. That's you. Particularly in the metrics that we have, in the state of Pennsylvania, for example, where you did the most damage. People just sitting out the election to enjoy their sense of moral and social superiority. that you sold them against Kamala for your own sense of celebrity, get this guy off air. This needs to be done. I'm sorry to take over the Kobe celebration with this. Why not? It's part of it. I don't think Kobe would tolerate his kids watching Hassan Piker. Mind you, that guy was raised in Turkey, comes over here as a teenager, and now he's an expert on all American civic policy and an expert on American society. He has zero stakes in this country at all. Zero. None. Which is why he's doing this. So now we're all getting data scraped for now. My contrast will shine through. The spirit of the people will carry that contrast through, and we will beat this. I'm in year 5 of trying. That's how much damage this fucking clown does. With his saint, when you start understanding what I am telling you, you will understand that his entire content it's almost 0% information. It might 0 to 1% information. The rest of it is sanctimonious reaction to things and selling the sanctimony, the illusion of moral and social superiority to 14-year-olds, underdeveloped brains. And now he's getting them addicted to dopamine, serotonin, and epinephrine because they're constantly seeking leverage over everybody to experience moral and social superiority. Now, he's in LA, and LA has a cocaine culture like you've never seen. And cocaine blasts open the serotonin and dopamine receptors in your brain, like the pathways. It's almost like an Acme gunpowder barrel. So you can imagine like Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote, that kind of thing. There's a barrel in the middle of the road. It blows up and it's all splayed out like that. When you do coke, that's what it does to your receptors. And then it's literally brain damage. It doesn't heal. It's just, oh, I'm sober now. No, that's stuck that way for at least 2 years. And now your brain chemistry is completely fucked, which is how you get addicted to coke, because now in order to experience anything close to a normal, healthy flow of serotonin and dopamine, you have to do more cocaine. Or you have to hop up on stream and lie to people and sell your own image of moral and social superiority, because that's part of it. Okay, this guy's a coked out clown. And I need people to understand, I want people who do cocaine off air. They do not need to be live streaming. Period. That includes Asmongold. He's on air to streaming to 14, and you see him do that. These people. You're letting people sell sanctimony to children. Asmongold, Hassan Piker, Kyle Kulinski has now adopted Hassan's sanctimonious tantrum throwing. And Crystal Ball's tired of it, you can tell. She's embarrassed to be next to that shit on stream. Crystal's a real professional, and Kyle used to be. But he's adopted too much of this. It's bad. It's just bad. I can't watch Kyle anymore. It's sad. I used to love watching Kyle. These guys were my colleagues. Back in the day when Tim Pool was part of our little network, Dave Rubin was part of our little network. Damn. What happened? Okay. So, we went over the stakes. Shared property, publishing title, co-publishing owner. That's the precedent. Data collection, data shard, contributor. That's the corporate antecedent that they aim to replace me with. That's also why I'm obfuscated, censored, all that shit. But it's going away. It's going away. People are understanding what I'm saying. But they do need to support me, because the whole attempt was to try to kill me and replace me with data shards, data collection, and contribution. It feels like an international effort by rich people to destroy our ownership, destroy our independencies, and make us all codependent on their trickle and crumbs. And that's all we get. And we'll work our hardest will bust ass for that trickle and crumb. You don't want that future for your kids. I don't have kids. I can't afford them. Not yet. And if I do have kids, I don't want that future for my kids. And I have a bunch of nieces and nephews. And they will be co-publishing owners of publishing titles in a shared property. That's what they will be. They will not be contributors of data shards to your data collection, whoever the fuck you are. Okay? Buy a Kobe, support what we're doing. I need to make a living. These people have gotten in the way of making my living. Like you saw what Hassan did. Okay, everybody, thank you for watching. I'm going to end the stream. Just go buy a Kobe, join the Discord. The Discord's in the chat. It's somewhere there. Let's pin it. Let's pin the Discord. There we go. Pin that. Discord's pinned. The rest of them are links to assets. Thank you for watching. Again, 1 Kobe sells. I'm good for 2 months in bills. 2 of them sell. I'm starting to stabilize again. I'm not running around scrambling and drifting buildings just to keep everything going. 4 of them sell. I can probably get an apartment. A bunch of them sell. It goes viral somehow. I might end up in tears on stream while we do the next 10. Yeah? We'll complete the series. We'll have Gemini go through and do the art docent thing on all of them. Because I'm going to do a Instagram gallery, a LinkedIn gallery for it, so everybody can enjoy the mint dates and the descriptions, and we can have a good time. In fact, I'm going to get started on that now. All right, everybody.